Joe presents Baz and Andrew's House of Rugby, together with Guinness.
Hello and you're very welcome to Baz and Andrew's House of Rugby here on Joe together with Guinness. It is 5 o'clock on Sunday evening and we know that everyone in Ireland is watching, every sports person in Ireland is watching the Masters, the golf somewhere. But Baz and Andrew are dedicated to the oval ball. Here we are representing. Pat is across from me, he's having a nervous breakdown because all he wants to do is watch the golf.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah, but unfortunately you're here and we're going to drag this out. Just drag the arse.
It's going to be the longest episode yet.
You should go back to the start, like. William Webb Ellis. So
where were we?
he picked up the ball, right? But yeah, look, we're here. We're dedicated to the oval ball, and there's so much to talk about, and so much so that we've actually gone back and worn our school's rugby jerseys. St. Munchin's College.
Korean Inst.
Pat is wearing a golf outfit. I think Pat's going to start hallucinating. Do you remember that episode of Father Ted where they go off things for Lent and like Ted goes off smoking fags, but anytime someone talks to him he starts hallucinating and just sees giant fags talking to him, and Dougal goes off rollerblading and he just sees rollerblades moving, and Father Jack just sees pints of Guinness. So Pat's just looking at us seeing like a golf club and flag.
This is just eating into it. We're grand. We'll be back in the Masters in no time, Pat. Be grand. But yeah, so we're representing.
Yeah, St. Munchin's College, Veritas ni in Caritas. I don't know what that
Latin
means.
or Irish?
Latin, I'd say. No idea. So this is the jersey that you kind of make yourself. Is that one?
No, it's not. That was the medallion jersey, and I couldn't find that. It was too long ago, so it's got lost along the way. This was my tour jersey.
Oh, to South Africa, obviously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where we didn't have a great record.
Did you not?
We won 1 out of 6 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's one.
But we had a good tour.
Yeah. And who are your sponsors I see there?
Linus.
No.
Oh, sorry, it's not. It's Lindsay Protective Clothing. I didn't even look at this. I just assumed it was Linus Frozen Foods because they're the North Coast kind of juggernaut local wealthy business that you go to.
They're the Supermax of... Mine is obviously sponsored by Supermax, hand stitched on. This was a tradition. Do you have Supermax in Belfast?
I think it might have just arrived, but it's not an established.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's like McDonald's, but super.
Yeah.
Better. This was a tradition of ours. After St. Munchin's College game, we would go in there and have a burger.
Yeah.
And then buy a bag of cans.
Yeah.
And that was it.
They're going for a nice subtle sponsorship there, haven't they? More Supermax than Jersey.
Yeah.
That is.
It is actually, isn't it? Picture how big this was
Yeah.
on me when I was 16, 17. Yeah. Enormous. I love the long sleeves though. My favourite memory of schoolboy rugby was playing the Junior Cup quarter-final against Ardscoil Reach. And this crack in the crowds at those games were just unbelievable. Yeah. Ardscoil Reach weren't the best team in the world, so they used to did you ever hear of Blackboard Jungle? It's a TV show that Ray Darcy used to host for schools would go on and do like it was like a quiz and see if they could win. And Ardscoil Reach won it one year, and it was the only thing they'd ever really won. They'd never won a rugby match, so the fans used to just chant, "We won Blackboard Jungle," which was gold. But the Munchins fans, Jerry Flannery and a fella called Nozzle, a friend of ours, were the senior team. They were at the game and they bought an inflatable banana, like a big yellow banana, and brought it to the game, and it caused pandemonium. There was a riot in the crowd. There was like the match had to be stopped. There was violence and everything, and they put down a banana ban afterwards in the school. There was no
a banana ban, unnecessary in most schools. It's required a banana ban.
Not in Munchins. I wonder is that still on, the banana ban? Yeah, but that was one of my favourites. Yeah. What was your best memory of
my
school
best
rugby?
memory? We were quite good. I think actually Koreans were a little bit like Ulster now. Or Ulster the last few years, whenever we've got the ability for a big performance, but we always choked. We won the subsidiary shield 3 years in a row, having got put out in the first round. Yeah, so And every year we're like,
I
you know
think
what,
the Shield.
this is our...
Best of luck in the play.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. This is our year. And then we do the same thing again. Let's make amends, lads.
Yeah, and then they just killed off the school, right? It's gone now.
Yeah.
Got rid of it.
Enough's enough. We're not going to win a school
Demolish
cup.
it.
Yeah. So they amalgamated with a
Bulldozers.
girls' school across town, and now it's Korean grammar.
Okay, are they any good?
I don't believe they
We've
are.
talked too much about this already. We've talked too much. Yeah.
About the
But
amalgamation,
that's
about the
good, yeah.
details.
yeah. Let's move on. We've got so much rugby to talk about from the weekend. We'll look back at the Guinness Pro 14 action, look ahead to Munster and Leinster's Champions Cup semi-finals. We will hear from Munster and Ireland scrum half Conor Murray, who Pat caught up with last week. We have Ireland Sevens international superstar Jordan Conroy on the phone, all the way from Offaly. And we've got our Made of More Player of the Weekend results and your Twitter questions. But first, big win for Ulster and Connacht, which means that we have Ulster versus Connacht in the Guinness Pro 14 at Kingspan Stadium in early May. Is that a whistle?
Yeah.
I liked it,
Yeah.
That's exactly what comes to mind.
Big Inter-Pro knockout.
Yeah, huge. And what I love about it is two similar teams, style of play anyway, two coaches, similar style of play, put a lot of emphasis on a lot of faith in their halfbacks to up the tempo. So it's going to be a clash of two similar styles, which is going to, I think, make for a brilliant game.
Yeah, and Ulster they've been beaten twice by Connacht this season. And the first one in Belfast, I think, was the first time Connacht beat them since 1960, Pat?
Something like that.
Yeah. He's
Something
all
like
right.
that.
Let me just tell you,
He's watching the Masters.
Yeah.
Molinari is in the water, so all I heard was 1960.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to here, the flag or the golf club?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 1960.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Let me go research it. What was the question again?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Watch your golf.
Go back to it. Come on.
How's Tiger doing? That's all we want to know.
he's not in the water, so
Okay. Is he
he
still
could
second?
be about to be. He could be about to take the lead.
Everyone's watching this from the future now. Or
Yeah, no,
listening
this is
back.
dated information already.
Still,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
cool,
actually.
though.
Sorry, everybody.
It's all right. At least you're not spoiler alerting them, like. So yeah, Ulster gonna be it'll make for an interesting game with those results.
Yes.
Did you watch Ulster the weekend?
I did, yeah. It's
What
nice to
a
see.
win! What a result!
They're
What,
flying.
for our bonus point, 5 points.
Yeah. Similar level of performance to Leinster in that quarterfinal. Physicality through the roof, pretty innovative, pretty creative as well. Played with a bit of width.
What you make of Jacob a fullback?
Fine, yeah,
Fine.
I think he can go. He can slot in anywhere in the back three, really.
I thought what he did to create space for Rob Little and Balakoon was. I was like, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Stick him in there.
Yeah.
Especially now that it looks like Ludic is out, right?
Yeah.
He's out for the rest of the season.
Oh, he's gone completely.
I don't know, is he? He looked pretty nasty when he came off.
We need to stop looking at him bad.
His ankle, it was pretty bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it looked pretty bad. Yeah.
So I'd stick him in there. Who else? Like Addison's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Addison's gone. Just had an operation on his back.
Yeah, look, that try Balakoon scored and Rob Little, massive fan of his.
Yeah.
That try he got, like, where they went down the blind, like I think one of the commentators pointed out, is like a perfect example for any youngster looking at how to execute a little blindside dart where Billy Burns took a little back pass, and it was just the speed of the passing.
Yeah.
Everyone hitting the line of flat. And,
He's wriggly, isn't he?
Isn't he? He had a lot to do, didn't he? Like to score it.
Yeah. No, he's busy and his footwork's good and he's kind of. I think country fellas. He's a farmer in background. I just always think they're kind of even when they're small, they're wiry and tough. And
Do you ever remember playing against Brough underage? Brough, when you would have come down and played the Pat Lawler in Limerick.
Did they play that? Did they?
Yeah. They were like that now. Young lads that were farmers that were so strong at that age. Like very hard to tackle and really good at chop tackles as well.
Really, chop tackle ahead of their time.
Absolutely, just down around the ankles.
Yeah, old school.
What else? I thought Burns was brilliant.
Yes.
Great to see him get the bonus point at the end.
I think the back line will always look brilliant if their pack play like that, though.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot to be said for getting Ian Henderson back in the team. getting Marcel in a bit of space. Eric O'Sullivan with his tip-ons, finding other lads in space as well.
Disappointing for Marty Moore. Didn't look good for him. Has he had a...
Yeah. Did you see, though?
You're just laughing at him.
Yeah. Oh. He was like, obviously, he had his hands on his head, like I said, he wasn't looking, and then Stuart McCluskey came over and tapped him on the shoulder, as if to say, unlucky lad, you know. But then Marty obviously thought, he wants a high five. And he turned around, Marty went like that, and then by that stage, Stu had already got what he wanted, which was sticky spray from the bag. I made a video of it. I'll put it up later on.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Again, just one of these moments. You
just
gotta enjoy these moments.
You do. I love those. And Rory Best obviously out with an ankle injury, so getting the two of them back would be pretty important. But Marty Moore didn't look like he was in great shape.
But the scrum though. When Ross Keane came on and did well, the set piece was difficult. It was tough last week actually in Glasgow. Set piece went a lot better the other night, so breakdown as well.
Yeah, they'll have a bit of a chance to rest a few of those players as well. Connacht, on the other hand, again more the same from them. Do or die mindset against Cardiff on Saturday. Brilliant variety of play, playing some class rugby, really played the conditions well, which is obviously pretty hard in the sports ground when the wind is blowing like that. You couldn't tell which way it was blowing at some points. But yeah, really impressive to get the bonus point win there as well. Yeah,
Carty mixed up the kicking game a little bit, just wee short kicks. Even with the breeze behind him, he put one crossfield from his own 22 to Matt Healy. Yeah. It's nice, wasn't it? Just a wee stabby one, just get it there as soon as you can.
Bent a little bit as well.
It looked like more was going to come of it, and then it was just
a Farrell drop that he could have, if he'd just gotten that pass away, I think Healy probably would have scored. But yeah, there was loads of that. I mean, I think Carty scored the try of the season. Yeah, that was unbelievable. Like it came from a Cardiff touch. They found touch deep in the Connacht 22. I think that's a massive power play at that point in the game for Cardiff to get on top. And O'Halloran takes a quick line out, makes a little break.
Rufio takes a
quick line out, makes a little break. Aki then with an outrageous offload, the 22, and then O'Halloran again with an offload. Then the rest was just Carty, chip, gather, score.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable. Like for at that moment to have that quick thinking and then everyone to be on board. Yeah. I think Blade was a huge part of that as well. He's
flying still, isn't he?
Yeah, and I'm fair play to Andy Friend for sticking with him and picking him, even though Marmion's back, and because he really sets the pace and was instrumental, I think, in that game. And again, then Butler, Boyle, Foyinga, who I think was named as the Connacht Player of the Year afterwards, just showing how valuable he is to them.
Their whole back row, were brilliant, weren't they? What about Marmion? Did you see Marmion's hit? Who was the Cardiff?
Harries, is it? Jordan Harries? It was, yeah.
Yeah.
What attack.
See that coming.
KO'd himself, which we shouldn't be laughing at, but my God.
No, I mean, like, safety first, lads.
Yeah, he'd be grand. But yeah, it was, and the decision to not give the try, obviously, by the end of it, that was a massive decision because Cardiff came back. What did you think?
Oh, so I didn't really, I actually just watched there's a clip popped up.
Oh, so Harry's, when he put it down, he put it down with his right hand and his left hand hit
it touched
the flag.
I did see that, yes. Yeah.
And the ref said that which it actually did, he touched the ground, the touchline with his left hand and the ball down at the exact same time, which means that it's a scrum to the attacking team, which I thought was bizarre, but it's obviously the rule.
Who was it? Who was that ref? And he knew that.
Tiger Woods, was it, Pat? He did. He must have known the rule. Yeah.
He must have thought, brilliant. Here's a chance for me to show off. Who knows this rule? Make a real song and dance about it. Get as much attention as possible.
I love that rugby.
I know something you don't know.
I love that rugby. You can find out a rule in every game you watch. Like, that happens to me every second game.
I always wanted to do. Do you know that if the ball is rolling in the in goal area, and you as an attacker, if you slide in and your feet or your entire body apart from your arm is in touch and goal, but the ball's on the ground, with your first touch, if you touch it down, it doesn't matter. It's still a try. Pat.
Yeah.
Is that fact?
That's
Stop talking to
I
Pat.
know, I'm sorry. Last time we interrupt you.
Mike Adamson was the referee there.
Oh, okay, he was. Yeah.
But yeah.
Say that again. So if you slide, your whole body can be over there.
It doesn't matter if your full body's in touch. If your first touch of the ball is to score the try, so you can't. If the ball's bobbling, you can't catch it and put it down. It has to be, or even move it at all. It has to be your first touch is to score. Doesn't matter that your whole body's in touch and goal.
Wow.
That was always one of these rules. I was like, one of these days,
I'm gonna just cross over the line on purpose.
Yeah. And then the ref doesn't know, and he does me for it.
Be worth it just for the long run. If you're winning by 40 points, okay, you can just say, I told you.
Yeah, I always wanted the chance to showcase my knowledge.
I was terrible for that shit. There was another one in the Munster game. We'll get to that later, actually, because I'll come back to it.
Get to it now. We'll do what we want. Pat's not listening.
Oh, we're actually in. We're going straight to it right now. We're going to go to the Munster one. It's not unclear. Munster shit was good. Where the shit went down. Munster had one where Stephen Archer was hit by Benetton's 13 high and shouldered directly into the face. And Ben Whitehouse, who drove me absolutely mental for that whole game, said that he came to the conclusion eventually that it was only a medium force, like Star Wars force, to the face, so it only warranted a yellow card.
He categorised it medium.
Medium force. Whereas if it was full force, it would have been a red card. Did you know that was a rule?
Yeah, I didn't know the refs could decide, place it into a certain
and
bracket of force.
So Archer was being hit, and then the guy was coming in second, a second tackler, and he planted his feet and propelled himself. But in slow motion, it probably looked like medium force.
Yeah.
But he smashed him in the face, bust his nose open, hurt Archer pretty bad,
Yeah.
So
that force, once you bring that in, it makes sense though, I suppose, because you could do the same thing. For example, Cipriani's red card in the
that's what they're talking about. Yeah, it's Munster.
Yeah. Technically, you're sort of thinking, right? He technically shoulder on head. That's bad, but he hardly touched him. So that's when force comes into it.
But Archer had to go off for a HIA, bust his nose open, split his face open.
So hold on, was it yellow or was it just penalty?
No, he gave a yellow, but it should have been a red card. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, Ben Whitehouse, I hate trashing refs, but my God, he drives me mental. It was an unbelievable game of rugby. End-to-end stuff, loads of tries. Benetton are class, obviously, and Munster had a very young, inexperienced team out, but they were class. They really they defended really well and scored some brilliant tries. But there was a moment in the first half where Goggins scored a try off a drop ball, and he had to look back and see if there was any knock-on, and it took 5 minutes to go through, which everyone could have, on watching, would have decided in 10 seconds.
That winds me up. Actually, you see, whenever something happens, is the TMO sitting in a room somewhere in the stadium just going, I'm not going to begin reviewing this until I get some direction from the ref. Yeah. He's going to get here. Whenever he calls me, then I'll start, my process will commence. Yeah. So he gets a call from the ref's like, would you just review that unbelievably obvious knock-on?
And he's like, he's out eating a sandwich or
Bear with me, yeah. I'll be with you.
What channel is it on? Yeah. He's switching over, hitting the side of his telly.
I know. As soon as something happens, TMO, be proactive and just have a look at it. And then Nigel, or whoever it is, could say, and he's going, listen, I'll stop you there. I've already looked at it. You're grand. Work away. Yeah. Cut it all out. Yeah. I just think they like the attention. Yeah. All the attention's on them.
A mate of mine is actually one of these guys. So other than him, and he knows who he is now, he's brilliant. But the rest of them are pretty poor. But I do blame the ref actually. In this case, Ben Whitehouse was just his communication with the fourth official was appalling.
Yeah. Here, actually, Adamson. Sorry, is it Mike Adamson, isn't it? Mm. He actually must be pretty switched on as well, because he made a call earlier on in the game. The offload from, was it Fainga? That was one of the back rowers anyway.
Boyle, yeah.
Boyle, sorry, to Blade, and he scored a try off it. Mm-hmm. And he made the point, it wasn't a breakdown, it was just a tackle. So one foot needs to be behind. I was going, that's quite technical as well.
Yeah, that was great. For
him to pick up on that as well. Yeah. And I didn't realise it was the same guy then did the...
That's another one where I learned another rule.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt pretty vindicated. I was watching that with my dad, and I went, and Dad was like, "That's not a forward pass." He thought he was talking about the. I was like, Dad, I'll take it from here, Dad. He's talking about the breakdown. He has to have the foot behind the ball, Dad.
I love when I'm like, that's my dad.
Yeah.
Asshole. But all in all, as a game, it was a brilliant game of rugby. Munster, I think their game plan at the moment, or all season, is wear teams down. Don't play too much rugby in the first half. Try and put teams away. Their defence is so aggressive and so intense. They're turning teams over. Like Benetton couldn't really live with it.
Yeah.
And then flash the ball a little bit. JJ Hanrahan was class. Matheson was class at scrum half. The two of them kind of seemed to know exactly. They were on the exact same page. Scored some great tries in the end. And again, defence was incredible.
Did Ulster a favour as well?
Yeah, they did.
Thanks, fellas.
All 4 teams qualified for the quarters and semi-finals. Absolutely brilliant again. Did you see, actually, speaking of Cipriani, did you see his try against, or his assist for Worcester?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It was completely unnecessary, but...
Really, what did he do?
He did a little... so, he'll do it this way. I'm popping it to you, but I feigned to do like a deep wide pass, but I drop it off to you here.
Yeah.
And then, but then he, as he passed it, he did a spin or like a pirouette, and like looked back this way, which was completely unnecessary.
Yeah,
but it looked class. Yeah. So I'm like, I'll leave you off of it. Ian Madigan also kicking a last-minute win for Bristol to beat Saracens.
Saracens, yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
I didn't see it now, but I'm going to try and watch it tomorrow. I want to check out how Munster will look against Saracens next weekend. Hear me now. Oh, Jordan Conroy was supposed to come in the studio, but he's going to join us on the phone. But first of all, we've got Conor Murray. Pinergy are the partner to Munster Rugby, teamed up with the brand ambassador Conor Murray to announce that Munster's home stadiums, Thomond Park and Irish Independent Park, will now be powered with electricity from fully renewable energy sources. That's pretty cool.
They did an advert, him and Keatley. Do you remember this here?
No.
Like a while back there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Keatley's an ambassador. I think he was probably just living with Murray at the time.
Using a lot of his electricity. Well, we'll see. Here we go. This is Pat and Conor Murray from Thomond Park and Irish Independent Park, powered with electricity from fully renewable energy sources.
Do you guys have a routine that you'd have like the night before a game or anything, or would you stay up late talking?
Giddy, very giddy excitement as it always would be with Zeebs around. No, we had a good relationship when we were rooming. I'd be fairly relaxed, not as relaxed as Simon before games, but I think he kind of added to me being a bit more relaxed before big games, especially, which would be great. You know, we were just buzzing about. I think we were chatting about who we were marking the next day, like on the wing and scrum half, and we were just kind of excited about that. And I think was the Cubs game on. I know what it was, that the night before, 2 nights before, but there was
parade was the night before,
there was a parade, and that was on the American station over there, and we were probably up late enough watching that and just chilling out and stuff. So it's a good room to be in before a big game. And woke up the next morning and the buzz was the same. Steve straight away with the Bluetooth speakers on, playing all his music, and there's never a dull moment there.
And who's now, like, do you get to, being a senior enough player there, do you get to request a new roommate, or who's in with you now, or is it the same guy? Or
I've been with Earlsey for a good few years now. It changes the odd time, if one of us isn't playing or someone's injured or something. But more often than not, it's been Earlsey since then, which has been great. Know Earlsey really, really well. Not as loud as Zeebs or as untidy as Zeebs, but we know each other so well now. There's no... Often with a roommate that you don't know that well, it's a bit awkward. You like, if you're watching TV or something, you're kind of giving each other a remote or asking each other what you want to watch, or do you want the aircon on or whatever. Whereas if Earlsey doesn't want it, he'll just tell me shut up and turn off the TV, or he's going to bed. So there's that kind of comfortableness with each other there, which is great.
And I was just then thinking back to, let's say the Six Nations is just finished there now. You guys would probably all have, I don't know how it works for the Irish team, but like, let's say with the English team, they set up a WhatsApp group for each game. Would it be similar for you guys as well? Like, would there be a group or a different kind of group chat that you'd all pass messages to each other on, or?
I think there's a WhatsApp group for most weeks, depending on the squad. Usually Sinead Bennett would probably set one up just for notifications about gym or good, if it's an away game, the lads will throw like good coffee spots in there, or like things to do, or the cinema list, and all sorts like that. So yeah, that changes. I think it changes every week and in and out. So there's, as you can imagine, there's quite a few WhatsApp groups on the go.
Yeah, because I remember James Haskell saying before that he knew he was getting dumped out of the squad because he just all of a sudden
He was removed
from the group.
I don't know. I don't think I haven't heard any stories of that happening in our squad yet, but that would be kind of a harsh way to be told that you're not involved for the week. But yeah, obviously I think the group remains the same when people get added and taken out, judging on selection, injuries, things like that, which is kind of sensitive. Yeah, if you're taken out before the team is named, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah. The I suppose the last time we would have maybe been like seen, or you guys were all together as a squad then, of course, was Cardiff that night, and the championships end in different ways, but did you guys all still at least go out for like that meal? Did you go for a drink even the day after? Did you have a bit of like time as a squad together? Like,
oh yeah, of course we did. Yeah, we had the meal afterwards, and we did a couple of points with the Welsh lads, lads we know, congratulated them, which was the right thing to do. It was us a year previous in Twickenham where, we delayed coming up to the meal. Obviously the Welsh lads were late, which is completely fine. You're obviously celebrating a Grand Slam when we did that last year, and when we arrived up, the English lads were completely fine with us, had a drink with us, had a chat, particularly the lads you'd know quite well.
Yeah.
So we had a drink with them, and then we went back to our hotel and just stuck together. We just went into the team room, and wives and girlfriends, family, parents, all the coaches, all into the team room, and just had a drink together, which was really important because it wasn't, it didn't go to plan, but it wasn't due to like a lack of effort or lack of desire from players or staff or anything. It was, everyone saw the effort that was being put in. It's just for reasons we, after the game, you know why, but it's good to have a drink and kind of just sign off and say, look lads, that was a tough campaign, but we know how good we can be, and we know we can get back to that level. So don't lose faith, stay together. And we didn't even need to say that, because everyone in this squad knows how good we can be. It's I've said it before, it's 23 out of 26 tests in the last 26 obviously, and you don't become a bad team overnight, and it's just been a tough campaign, and I think we're all well aware, and we've such belief in how good we can be, and it's just about working really hard to get back to that level, which I know we can.
Is it more of a, I was kind of thinking as well, like it's more of a, like it's almost like a national psyche. I was kind of thinking like, England with the penalty shootouts. Oh, here we go again. Like it's the same, like I think it's almost like it's something in here, being Irish, that when the World Cup comes around, we start panicking and it's going to happen again. So there's a little bit of that. So you guys have to almost fight against history and stuff like that as well. It's an added kind of bit of pressure, but
yeah.
As a group, is it a kind of thing that you have to kind of cloister yourself away from that and kind of say, listen lads, we know what we could do, we know we've been there, we can do it?
Yeah. When you say cloister away from it, it's not that we're trying to stay tight for. It's for our group. I think the tighter we remain, and it's a really tight group. I said it previously in interviews where there's genuine good mates from all the other provinces and fellas I spend time with outside of rugby, which is, I don't know if that was the case before, but it's I can pick 4 or 5 lads from Munster who have really good relationships with everyone else in Ulster, Leinster and Connacht. So I don't know, was that the case? You have to ask those older lads, but it feels really good. It feels like a really tight squad, and I think if we are to remain tight, it's because that's when we work best, when we're away from media is there, and it's got a really big role, and for us, we don't need to see it that much. We know what we're like. We know how good we can be. We know how tight we are. We know what went wrong in the Six Nations. We know we've a fair idea of how we're going to fix it and what we're going to attempt to do. So it's really important that we just stay away from that as much as we can, because I don't see the benefit in reading newspapers or when things are going well, or on the flip side when things are going poorly. I just don't see the benefit, because sometimes they overhype you, and then other times maybe they're criticising you for a reason, which is absolutely fair. But then at times, is it a bit too much? Is it not? There's a balance. And personally, you'll have to ask the other players. I get that. I completely understand why you're in that, limelight or public eye or whatever, and you are being judged. And I completely understand that. I completely understand why it goes one way or why it goes the other. But I think reading it and kind of worrying about it is completely unproductive, and it doesn't serve any benefit. You know, I think there's enough motivation within me, within the teams I play in, to kind of get things right and be as successful as we can. So with Ireland, if we're talking about Ireland right now, you know, it's a really tight unit, and that's important because we haven't been through a stage like this in a long time, which is a sign of how good things have been.
There's a friend of mine rang me up there. I think it was during the Six Nations, and it was maybe midway through the championship, and he was almost saying, "I've got a not a scoop, but I've got a theory for you."
Yeah.
He said they haven't been the same since they had to scrap with each other at Thomond Park. There's something going on, like, you know, like, and I was like, all right, I'll look into that. Like,
Okay.
people often ring me and think I've got the insight, and I was like, I don't think there's anything there, but he's like, I'm telling you, they had to scrap with each other, but
no, nothing from that derby, and you can see why people would say that from the outside, because that was such a heated game, and brilliant. Like, if anything, that was good for the national team, because it showed lads care about their derbies, care about, you know, going up against their rivals, and firstly showing what it means to play against. For me, to play against Leinster, and then you're trying to get into the national squad. That's another subplot to all those interpros, is lads trying to get in, and you know, because competition is so high in the Irish team, you know, people want to play as much as they can. They want to be involved in that team as much as they can, and I think that just showed it. And no, since that game, like the couple of days after, all the lads were texting each other. The lads involved in the few bits after. Well, I know I had an incident with Jordan Larmour where I high tackled him, and there was a bit of a scuffle in touch. The next time I saw him, we were laughing and joking about it, and we actually both said, "Geez, that was a bit of fun, wasn't it?" Because there was no nasty digs or anything. It was just on the edge type stuff, and no, I can assure you that didn't carry over. But it's been a while since there's been a game like that where, you know, there's been some dull derbies, and I don't think that's a good thing. I think, you know, they need to be hotly contested. Maybe spilled over a little bit, but that's sport at the end of the day, and that's what happens when it means so much to both teams. That can happen at times. It's hard to keep a lid on it, you know.
A lot of us were happy to see it as well.
I think most people enjoyed it, but not to say that we're going out there again to do it, but it showed how much people cared.
So there's a couple of kind of like more kind of technical things I wanted to like ask you about the Six Nations, and good that you're here. And one of them was just kind of, I suppose, the thing that goes around as well is like, I think even maybe Brian O'Driscoll might have mentioned it again about the neck again. Like Brian O'Driscoll's even said this when he was a player. He's never 100% fit. Like, you're never going to be 100% fit. But like, were you carrying anything during that championship, or were you a little bit uncomfortable, or were you as close to fully fit as a rugby player can possibly be?
No, honestly, answering, I was completely fit. Yeah, I wish I could blame my neck on a few things that didn't go according to plan, but I am fully fit. I think you know, that's why, going back way before the Six Nations, that's why I took so much time with this neck to make sure it was right. And in terms of, you know, like, I know Brian has said it before, you're never fully fit. Like, you're always going to go into the game with like a bang on the elbow or like a dead leg or something annoying you. But in terms of neck-wise, I was fully fit, because I can say that, like, if ever anything happened again, I would wait beyond the date when it was said it was going to be okay. I would make sure even more so, give myself even like another 2 or 3 weeks beyond when people said I could play, just to make sure I'm comfortable with it, because, you know, people don't see if you're injured, people don't see it. Like, if you have a bad knee or bad ankle, like, people don't see that on Saturday. They just see you, and they expect a certain standard of performance from you. So no, I wasn't like I said, I'd like to blame it, but no, neck feels great. Arm feel like strength wise is as best as it's ever been. So I feel fine. And again, coming through Edinburgh at the weekend, especially in that last 5 or 6 minutes, I had to make a good few tackles, and felt great on Sunday, which is brilliant. And I'm not thinking about it. You know, maybe the first few games back you're thinking about it slightly, but then you kind of click into what you know best and your automatic reactions, and away you go, really. So
because I was looking, I remember looking back at the Italy game, and going into it maybe on first view and thinking there was a couple of passes, and then I look back on it, and there's maybe only 2 from the whole game where maybe you didn't hit where you wanted to hit as well. Like, but is it just maybe the Ireland style was a little bit like, you know, like that we weren't playing as wide, so you weren't flinging the big long passes as much as you were?
There's loads of things. I don't know, did I see something like against England? I don't know who said it to me, my dad maybe, or something about my passing, and I was like, pretty sure most of my passes were pretty good there in that game. I remember, I can remember the stats and the two passes. There was one, England kicked the ball over the top and I caught it, and Jordan Larmour was running that way, and I tried to give it to him, but he was on the move and I probably shouldn't have, and it went to ground. Then there might have been one other, and other than that there was absolutely nothing. Like, I can say I fully believe there's nothing wrong with my passing in that game. And it's funny what people perceive is wrong. It is interesting because, you know, years ago I would have been like, if someone had even mentioned like, oh, your passing was off, I'd be like, oh, okay, I gotta practice this way more and get it straight. Whereas this time around, I honestly, hand in heart, I don't see the papers. I really don't. And it's only like when a friend of mine or someone might say, oh, did you see what this fella wrote? And I'm like, no, I didn't. I don't really want to know about what that fella wrote anyway. But they've already told me, so I'm like kind of thinking, what? So when I heard that, I was like, no, I know my pass is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So a bit more mature about how I kind of handle those things now, which is I can take comfort from it. You know, I know what I needed to work on, and in fairness, there was a few passes during the Six Nations that probably they weren't as accurate as they normally are. But I wouldn't put, that's probably just, you know, an awareness thing, or maybe being put under pressure, or, you know, a couple of them was just miscommunication, and that's something that we are usually so good at, so clear in what we're doing, and just on the pitch, it was just down to the players, me involved as well. It's just the message wasn't as clear, and that creates confusion and creates a little bit of hesitancy, and then all of a sudden it's just a bad pass or something. So no, like health-wise, body-wise, I'm fine. It's just there were other reasons, I think.
The idea of couple of years, 2.5 years since October, November, those kind of big couple of months for Munster and Irish rugby, and the fact that you guys have this thing on a Sunday, we all get together as much as you can, walking the dogs or going to Lahinch, going for sausage rolls, stuff like that.
Dave Kilcoyne is the only fellow who goes for sausage rolls. The rest of us have healthy breakfasts.
Is it a thing of, what is it? You remember we spoke at the time like that Anthony Foley, and he's with you guys every day and stuff like that as well. Is that still, did something like that come from that, or was that in the squad beforehand, or do you still kind of feel that, is he still a big part of the squad? Is it something that you guys would talk about much, or does he come up in conversation?
Yeah, like, sounds kind of it's not corny, but like Axel Wood, he is with us because he had such a big part of my career and a lot of lads, and you know, there's pictures of him around the place. It's not like it's everywhere, but like there's a little desk in the coach's office there, waiting area, with just a lot of pictures of Axel in the glass underneath. And I was waiting there the other day and just kind of looking at them for a minute. I was like, gee, it kind of hits you every now and then, like, and like in a harsh way, life goes on and you've so many distractions anyway, but at certain times it comes back to it and you're like, whoa, it kind of. But he had such a big role in Munster, and you know, at the end of training we have a chant, like a little wrap up thing, and you know, 1, 2, 3 Axel, and you know, that happens every day pretty much. So he's always there, and there's always a reference to him. And I think it definitely brought us together more. But there's a tightness about this group anyway. And Axel wouldn't want it all down to him. You know, he's a big reason behind why a lot of people stayed there, or you know, have such a love for Munster. But no, this group is really tight, like you said. Even on our days off, people link up and do things together. Go down to the beach, go for a swim. Swimming Lahinch seems to be the popular one at the moment, with the weather getting better, and have barbecues and things. So it's like the Irish team, like I was saying a while ago, like two tight groups, and I suppose that's the reason why I was so keen to just stay on, and why it was such a quick decision for me, because I'm really happy here. Love it, absolutely love the setup here, playing for Munster and being involved with Ireland as much as I can, and two really good squads, and you know, 2 squads that have the potential to be successful. So yeah, it's good. Not a bad setup we have.
Perfect. Well, listen, cheers for that, and good luck now for the next couple of months anyway, and enjoy your summer before it all gets crazy again. Yeah,
I will. Cheers. Thanks.
Okay, cheers for that.
Okay, you're most welcome back. You are almost welcome back. You are all. You are all.
Not quite.
We'll do that again. Okay, you are all most welcome back to the House of Rugby Roundup, and hello to those watching on Instagram TV. How are we doing? That was Conor Murray. Pat asked him actually in this interview but he didn't include it for some reason. Conor was a former St Munchin's College star. He asked him what his top 5 Munchins players, who his top 5 Munchins players ever were. And they were number 1, Keith Wood, number 2, Anthony Foley, number 3, Conor Murray, number 4, Barry Murphy.
God, you say Conor Murray
Yeah.
was number 3?
He named himself.
At number 3?
Yeah. I'd give it to him. To be
That's
fair.
an unusual level of cockiness. Isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, number 3, mate, you know, like bronze medalist.
Yeah.
You either go, I'm number 1, or you're not
You're not
involved.
in it. Yeah. Very
Anyway.
good point. He put me slightly ahead of himself, he
Yeah.
said. Keith Earls number 5. So I beat Earlsy.
Yeah, that's great. Beating
Yeah.
Earlsy.
Also, Fla wasn't involved at all,
Yeah.
which is even better.
Yeah.
Marcus Horn, I think he forgot even Marcus Horn was in some Munchins. Marcus Horn actually treated me like shit for the first 6 months that I was in Munster.
Oh.
Because he presumed I went to Crescent Comp in Limerick because of the way I dressed or something like that. And then he found out and he apologised for being an asshole to me, which I love that much bitterness still comes into senior rugby from school.
It's a shame you bore the brunt of it accidentally.
Yeah, it's okay, Horn. But that was great. Great interview from Conor. Thanks for that, Pat. We now have Ireland's 7-star Jordan Conroy on the phone, but I just have to warn you, this phone call, we did it earlier, and the line wasn't great. We still got some great stuff out of him. He's a great fella. He's blowing awfully. The phone line isn't great, blowing awfully these days.
The signal was awfully bad.
Sorry about that. There's a double joke. He did that a minute ago. I made him do it again. Here's Jordan Conroy. Okay, we were supposed to have Jordan Conroy in the studio with us today, but we were spectacularly stood up. But thankfully, he's joined us on the phone. How are you doing, Jordan?
I'm doing very well, lads. How are you?
We're good, man. We're very good. And just so you know, when you get stood up by an international superstar sevens player, I hope you know that Trimby and I both are kind of assuming that you're at a pool party in Vegas. There's like cheerleaders all around you. There's a load of rappers. You've got your phone in one hand and you're like casually spinning a rugby ball on your other finger. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, very, very, very accurate. That's 100% spot on. Yeah.
Jordan, as successful and as much of a superstar as you are, you had a chance to come on here and we could have made you even more famous. It's not off the ball, lad. You know what I mean? This is a big opportunity for you.
I know. I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe I messed up. Yeah, fairly bad.
Tell us, what are you really doing? Go on. What are you really doing?
I'm literally sitting in the sitting room with my mother.
What are the pool parties? What are the pool parties like in Offaly these days?
It's just a lot of bugs, lads. There's no pool parties here. I mean, so it's grand. I just came home for a few celebrations, and it didn't disappoint anyway. And then had to see a few families who were like, pool parties can get a little bit loose with the right crowd. But
that's what we want to hear.
Did you come home and you were about to rush out the door and your mum was like, "You're not going gallivanting off to Dublin for that Baz and Andrews rubbish. You're sitting here with me."
No, yeah, exactly. She was like, "You're not going up in that state, are you?" And I was like, "I'm fine." And then I don't know. And then I was just like, "Maybe you're dead right. Maybe I have to present myself a lot better." And then I was like, "No, I can't make a show of myself in front of these lads." Maybe, hopefully. I was like, "No, maybe not," because I'm very, very severely tired right now. Haven't slept over the weekend at all. The celebrations would be crazy anyway.
Well, you have Jordan. You'd have been grand. We have a video guy here, Diarmid, and we've never seen him sober yet.
Yeah,
he's either been drunk or hungover. Yeah. So you'd have been grand.
Been in good company, man. Yeah. We often show up here in pretty poor shape as well. But look, I suppose we'll start off. We have to give you a massive congrats for your incredible achievement last week in Hong Kong. How was that for you, man? First of all, how was the competition? Was it a tough one? And then achieving what you did with your teammates, how was that?
I would start the competition itself. we were there to kind of do a job and take it game by game and just, play our game and just focus on our green lights and whatnot. So we didn't really worry too much about what the opposition was doing and just kind of worried about ourselves and our game. So, I mean, we did take it game by game and, we got to win by win. But all in all, Hong Kong has been probably one of the top highlights of the year so far. And just kind of looking back and reflecting on it, it's so nice to say that we finally did it after all those like hard work over the years. It's a really like massive pressure off the shoulders right now, and me and the lads were over the moon, and I'm really delighted for Anthony Eddy and David Nusipora, who really stuck out their necks with this program, and to be able to reward them with being on the series, really it makes me feel happy, and just to be able to kind of perform on a world stage now. It's all overwhelming as well, but I'm really, really, really happy with the achievement that we've made. So, yeah.
Fair play, man. We actually had a question from Rob Vickerman, who wanted to know, have you found Mick McGrath yet, as he was last seen rolling down the hill in Hong Kong? Yeah. We kept a close eye on Mick, but he was there with us on the boat trip, as elegant as ever, jumping into the ocean. So he was probably one of the most shook ones on the team that day, but we all pulled through, and then we kept going on through in Dublin. So yeah, he made it back. So he's safe and sound now. He's safe and sound. Good man.
Were you partying with Shabal at all afterwards? Did you see that?
What?
Shabal, did you see his performance by any chance?
Oh, I seen the performance. I was like, this guy can sing, and he made a full performance of it. Like, I mean, I was pretty impressed. Is that like one of his hidden talents or something?
He's got a music video and all now. I saw the other day. Did you see that?
Yeah, someone linked us.
Yeah.
I heard it's like on YouTube now.
Yeah,
Go have a look at that.
It's pretty surreal. But look, I'm glad to hear that you actually celebrate as well, because everyone when they're delighted obviously to hear that to see that you achieved so much, and we're looking forward to watching you. But every rugby player, man, woman or child, when they see you achieve that, they're also kind of jealous that like these lads are gonna have some crack for the next 12 months. So
I know.
Don't let us down, man.
know,
That's got to be a huge part of it, right?
Yeah, I won't. I mean, being able to visit all these places in the world, it's absolutely amazing, and it's such a great atmosphere at these tournaments, and it's crazy, and it's a lot of love for the Irish people, which I really like to see. And it's just like a celebration on these tournaments, and that's what I love. And love meeting the people, love meeting the fans, and it's a great opportunity, and I'm just so glad that we finally made it as well.
And come here, take us back on your sporting journey and your rugby journey. Where did it start for you? Was it a regular one where you started underage and schools, or how did it come about?
So I really didn't start picking up rugby till the age of 18. I actually think I started playing for fun, just a little bit of tag or whatnot, because I wasn't really that much into rugby back then. And out of that, the captain of my hometown, Tullamore Rugby Club, said to me that you have to come up to senior training. I'm not taking no for an answer. And he was the guard and everything, so I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, fine, I'll see you Tuesday. And I really kind of went on from there. So with each training session and with each match, and after 4 years of playing there, I really start taking to liking to rugby. And then from there on, I kind of played in, I didn't play in any schools. It was just my home club. And then what the big move was, after 4 years in Tullamore, I moved to Buccaneers FC in Athlone and played in 1B. And that's when I started, really kind of playing better opposition and wanting to kind of go further with it. And then from the Buccaneers, I got into the Connacht Academy, and then the Sevens came calling, and literally the rest is history. And so it's only really been playing a total of 7 years, I think. Yeah, 7 years. So that's kind of the rugby back then. Pretty short one.
Yeah, you had a keen soccer career before that, right? You were playing with St. Pat's, and from what I've read, that was the avenue that would potentially lead you to professional sport.
Yeah, like before the rugby, I really wanted to be a soccer player, but kind of found out soon enough that wasn't going to happen. It was a fairly cutthroat industry, and I wasn't in any big teams. Like I did play in the Electricity League for a season with Athlone Town FC. So that was quite a nice little experience. But then after that, it kind of died down. And then even before that, I was doing the athletics, running, had a few All-Ireland titles and that. So yeah, I've had a few sports.
Good man. Well, look, the opportunity obviously is coming knocking for you to go on to play in the World Series for Ireland and potentially the Olympics. So I understand that's the next challenge for you guys in June is the qualifications for the Olympics.
Yeah, that's the next big one. We're concentrating really hard on preparing for the Tokyo Olympics. So when we come back now training, we're just going to focus on that and just keep on building on what we've achieved, and hopefully get into the London Sevens and Paris Sevens as preparations. So yeah, that would be another big, massive achievement for us to be able to say that you're in the Olympics, and be an Olympian would be amazing, and probably get the 5 rings tattooed somewhere. So that'd be kind of cool. So yeah, that's the next big milestone to try and reach for us lads.
Jordan, we're our theme tonight is we're kind of going like a back to school, like an old school theme. So I'm in my Corey and Ince jersey. Baz is in his
St. Munchins.
St. Munchins, yeah. Does it ring a bell? Like St. Munchins.
Yeah.
Anyway, back then in Munchins it was give the ball to Baz. In Korean it was give the ball to Trimby. And it seems like the Sevens team have come up with a similar policy: give the ball to Jordan. Is there much more to it, or is it just give it to the fast guy?
No, what we have, the saying is you need to earn the right to move it wide. So before we have to earn the right to move it wide, and then if there's space on the wing, then just give it to the pace out the wing. So it's close enough, but it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, it is.
Love it. Well, I think watching the Sevens over the years, it's always been a big part of the game is having superstars in the team like Serevi for Fiji and Carolyn Isles for the US and Lomu for New Zealand. So we look forward to seeing Jordan Conroy being our superstar in the near future. So look, we'll definitely get you on the show next time, man, or else we'll come and join you at one of your pool parties. Would that be all right?
Yeah, you're all invited, lads. I'll get you VIPs and everything. So.
Deadly.
The next one is going to be a live show at a pool party.
Yeah.
At his mum's house.
In Offaly.
That's an idea, lad.
Brian Cowan surely has a few pool parties going on down there regularly, does he?
Yeah, so he only lives up the road.
There you go. Well, I'll go to Brian Cowan's house. All right, Jordan, look, thanks a million for coming on, man. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and congrats again.
Thanks very much, lad.
Okay, thank you, Jordan, for coming on there. What a great fella, and looking forward to hearing a lot more about that guy. But now we will look ahead to the Champions Cup next weekend. First up, Munster versus Saracens. Tyler Blaindahl or JJ Hanrahan? What do you think?
Sorry, I was...
You're looking at something else.
I was looking at the Simpsons 15.
Yeah, we've got a best Simpsons 15 coming up, and Trimby is perplexed by it.
No, it's great stuff. Someone's gone to a lot of effort.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get there. In the meantime, listeners, while you're listening to this, keep that in the back of your mind. Think about it. Big decision. If Carberry misses out for Munster, JJ was class the other night. Personally, I think Tyler will start. He's gives them just that foundation that they kind of look for in the first half of a game.
Yeah.
And then JJ to come off the bench with his bit of magic, his magic feet. He's kind of been really good at that.
I think
doing
that's
that
fair
lately.
enough. Yeah.
And it will, that will be pretty important against Saracens to kind of settle them and play some decent field position. Other big decision they have to make, probably Jack O'Donoghue or Chris Cloete in the back row. Two very different sevens going into it, but I would personally go with Jack.
Would you go Jack because he's local?
No, maybe subconsciously I might do that. I'm a good mate with Jack. I coached him at Bowes, and big fan of his. But I just think I prefer. I love him as a player. I love how much energy he brings. Big ball carrier as well as being a very effective back row on the ground. And
So
good line out option as well.
You wouldn't get as much out of Cloete with ball in hand.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Great player, very, very
Class player.
Yeah, very aggressive, and I say he's a pain in the ass to play against. But I think with the size that Saracens have, they're probably the biggest team in the whole competition. I think you need some big, aggressive, abrasive players. Yeah. So the bigger players Munster have in the field, the better.
I'm convinced.
Cool. Conor Murray looked great last weekend. He seems to be back in form. So also it was Peter O'Mahony and Stander kind of. Munster just looked like they've come back from the Six Nations in a better state than most teams. Yeah. And I think they're peaking at the right time, which is really important for.
Yeah, Munster and Glasgow are both peaking at the minute. Glasgow are on fire at the minute. Munster are going well. Yeah.
Very important this time of year, right?
Yeah. The business end of the season is a little bit like what you were talking about last year. Get back to your club, get back enjoying rugby again, and just get back. I don't know, just performing well again. Yeah. Munster flying.
Yeah, and again they threw the ball around a little bit more at the weekend. Now that it's Saracens, they're probably the best team in the competition for me. So it's going to be a tough one, but what a weekend, and I cannot wait for it. Leinster then quickly. Watched them against Glasgow, as you said, the weekend were brilliant. Leinster have done the opposite of Munster, coming back after Six Nations.
Brilliant, isn't it?
They're a little bit rusty. Yeah.
So everybody's asking. Obviously, this is Game of Thrones week.
Yes.
And everybody's going, like who's going to be in the throne in 8 weeks' time? Not the Lannisters by the looks of it in rugby terms.
You reckon? Well, you're going out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
your predictions are.
Well, as you said, it's important to be kicking on at this time. So Glasgow, I think, are the other team who are in form at the minute. Glasgow and Munster, I think, are the top two at the minute. Now I know Leinster. It's hard to keep because they qualified. They secured their home semi-final so long ago, and then it's hard to keep that momentum going. But they've just dropped off a little bit. Treviso kind of caught them out last week, and then they got caught out again. And they weren't quite their best against Ulster either.
No. I think they've had one loss or two losses, one win and one draw since the start of March. So yeah, it's probably the worst record in years, I'd imagine. Pat, how's Tiger Woods doing? He's doing.
There's birdies for him in Molinari, yeah.
What about him getting taken out by the security guard?
Yes, I love that. That guy came from nowhere.
So eager. Oh, busted him. Yeah, look, that's interesting now that you're going there. Look, writing Leinster off, basically, you're there first.
Yes.
I don't know how far off Sexton is off. He'll obviously be
a gamble, wouldn't it? Yeah. Throw him in after. It'd be nearly another month out, wouldn't it, after the Six Nations?
Yeah. They've a few decisions to make, like whether Lowe plays again. I think he's so effective in these games. I'd have to start him. And they look like they lacked a little bit of firepower in the back line last weekend. Tomani was playing 13. Don't think he's a 13. He's a winger, out and out winger. Yeah. Larmer was looking very frustrated not to get the ball. It's good to see Henshaw back in 12, but he's probably a little bit rusty. Ringrose obviously will bring a lot of creativity, but
Carney, try scoring machine.
Yeah, 2 tries in 945 days. 2 in 10 minutes. It was bizarre. For me though, I'd be going with Larmer, Byrne, and Lowe. That'd be my back three.
Fine.
I mean, for the first time ever in a long time, I think Leinster are a little bit predictable.
Yeah, I know. I just think a big knockout stage. Like the closer you get to test match intensity, and I think quarterfinals or semi-finals of European Cup is getting towards that level. I think you got to consider Carney as well because he's just so safe, so secure. And I know you're not going to score any tries.
They will in 1,000 days.
I don't know. I think.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Like when you see Andrew Conroy scoring 38 tries in 7 years for Munster, it's hard not to look beyond that for me. And I know Rob brings a huge amount, but like you need to be scoring tries. And Look, Leinster, to be fair, when they get the ball in hand, they're pretty relentless and they're hard to stop. I would actually be more worried about the defence. Watching them in the weekend against Glasgow, and again, Glasgow were massively up for this game. Leinster were silent at times in their defence. Very little line speed, not much intensity, soak tackling all over the pitch. And you know, when you hear like they've made like 500-600 tackles in the last few weeks in 2 games, that potentially could be because they're not making huge impact tackles or busting teams back and turning over the ball. It's like they're almost willing to soak, which that's kind of leaked into their game. That was a foundation.
Not what they were doing at all earlier in the season.
The foundation of their game over the last few years has been really aggressive, tough defence, and I just find that strange that they've let that slide. So again, look, hopefully it will be just that they're taking the foot off the pedal for these games.
I'm sure they'll come good. Hopefully they don't, but I'm sure they will.
We also asked you to vote on your Guinness Made More Player of the Weekend, and here are your nominees: Jack Carty, try the season; Jared Butler of Connacht, also Munster's JJ Hanrahan, and Ulster lock Ian Henderson. Thank you for all your votes and comments. The winner is, drum roll,
JJ Hanrahan.
JJ Hanrahan. Go on the JASP. This leads us very nicely into a question, our Twitter, our hashtag AskHR, where we put out a shout for your Twitter questions, and one of them was
Simpsons 15.
Yeah, your best Simpsons 15.
Okay. At Loosehead.
The reason I said that leads us nicely into it is because JJ Hanrahan's nickname is Jasper, who is the old man that lives beside.
He hasn't made it.
Grandpa Simpson. Did he not make it? He's probably on the bench.
He's on the bench, yeah. I think he's going to get a big last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
At Loosehead, we got Comic Book Guy.
Yeah.
Hooker, Fat Tony.
Yeah.
Tighthead, Insane, Michael Jackson, dude.
Do you remember the episode where Homer goes to a mental asylum? I can't remember why. Can you remember why he goes to the mental asylum?
Early days.
Early days. And his cellmate is a big, heavy, kind of aggressive guy who thinks he's Michael Jackson. So he sings like Michael Jackson, he talks like him, and then he gets out. He gets out and he brings him to, and he sings that song to Lisa. Lisa, it's your birthday.
Yes, yeah.
Happy birthday, Lisa. That's it, yeah.
So he could lock a scrum down.
He would, yeah.
Disco Stu.
Yeah, quite tall, especially with those shoes with the fish in them. Some of those kind of high-heeled, platform shoes he has with the dead goldfish in them.
Rainer Wolfcastle.
Yeah, he's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger guy.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
He's great.
So he's at 5. Tricky, might not be much of a line-out option.
He's pretty big. I would have seen him more as like a 6 or a Clote kind, or Clote kind of.
Yeah, we might change him around depending on. We got Nelson Muntz at 6. That's fine, I think.
Bit of a
groundskeeper Willie at 7.
Just pure. That's great.
That's old school.
Pure. What was your man's name that played 7 for Scotland for years? A Butch. What was his name?
Butch was his first name, is it?
Yeah.
Oh. He lives in Belfast now.
Does he? Yeah. What was his name? We'll get there.
He's terrible. Like,
kind of like him.
I've co-commed with him at Ulster games.
Is it this isn't his name now, but yeah, I was just saying
Pountney.
Butch Pountney.
Butch
Yes.
Pountney.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was seeing that Homer was sent to the mental asylum because he wore a pink shirt into work because Bart had thrown his red cap in the laundry.
That's great.
And Butch Pountney, you're correct.
Butch
as well.
Pountney, yeah.
Cletus at 8.
Cletus at 8. Very skinny.
Which one's Cletus?
He's the slack-jawed yokel.
We could swap them around, then we could put Rainer Wolfcastle at 8.
Yeah.
And Cletus.
You'd get Cletus
in the
up
row.
there. Bit dim, like just stick him in the row.
Yeah.
Get him through some work.
Yeah. Mole Man at 9.
Yeah. Superb.
Fine.
Yeah. He's tiny. Tastes like peanuts.
Superintendent Chalmers.
Super Nintendo Chalmers.
SNES Chalmers. Ned Flanders in the left wing.
Yeah. Boring. Kind of like, were you left wing?
No, I was right.
You'd be quite Flandersy, actually. Be a great nickname for you.
Hank Scorpio.
Oh, great. He was
Who's he?
he was the terrorist guy that Homer went to work for in this. Remember he went the Hammock District, Hammockville. Hammocks are us.
Yeah. What sort of a 12 would he be? Would he be physical enough, or would he be
a bit mental, bit mad. Just give me the ball, man. We'll do anything
okay,
like.
yeah.
Yeah. And not a distributor of a 12.
Yeah.
A little bit more like very aggressive.
The Pocket Rocket, the Kiwi guy, what's his name? Played 12 for you guys, for Munster for a while.
Like Fimi Maffey.
Oh, no.
Oh, Tipoki?
Debuggy, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Anyway, Duffman at 13.
Yeah. Solid.
Sideshow Bob on the right wing.
Great. Yeah, just
Like a Shane Horgan.
exactly. Yeah. Get up for a good high ball.
Yeah. Dr. Nick at 15.
Dr. Nick. Yeah.
I thought for a second you didn't know the character.
Kind of. Yeah. I go with that. No, he was the.
Is he a Jordan Larmour? Is he a Jordan Larmour or is he a Rob Carney?
No, he's a bit wild. I see him like a French-esque fullback, just not really flippant. He just leaves a set of keys inside and people and stuff like that. Remember, he stitched a guy's arm where his leg used to be. If it isn't my old man, Mr. McClegg, with a leg for an arm and an arm for a leg. He's a great character. Simpsons was great. God, it's so shit now. Irish Owen also asked, if each of you had to play for a different province during your career, which would you have picked and why?
Say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
No
Munster.
I would have retired.
Tricked me.
I would have.
I thought we were thinking the
Munster.
same thing.
Yeah.
No, I only said that because
I would rather. I would. Do you know the episode of Game of Thrones where I think it's one of my favourite moments where Jamie Lannister gets his hand. Spoiler alert. Jamie Lannister gets his hand chopped off. I'd rather chop my hand off than play for another province.
Okay.
Probably wouldn't, to be honest. But
yeah.
Yes, which
It
leads.
seems drastic. I mean, it is just a job.
Just
at the
chop
end
my
of the
hand off. No, just offered you a contract. Chop my hand off. Game of Thrones is on tonight. It's back.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, Jesus.
I've just watched a few YouTube catch-ups.
Go
In
on.
the last season there as well.
Yeah, they good, yeah?
Oh, there's a lot going on, lad.
I can't remember.
And there's a lot of names that I'm going, like, ring bells. If you were to describe the fella, I'd be like, aye, that's that guy, grand. But it's complicated.
Really?
It's actually stressing me out a
What's
bit.
going on with the dragons? What was their
So
story?
one of them now works for the other side. He's an alien. Or whatever. He's a White Walker.
Yeah.
So whenever did you remember watching that episode?
Yeah,
Whenever he got shot, or not shot down, he got javelin down by the night
into the
king.
ice, yeah.
Into the ice, yes.
Yeah.
Crashed into the ice underneath. Did you think at the time, oh, I bet you I know what's going to happen there?
Yeah.
Did you immediately?
I think so, yeah.
I didn't. I went, oh well, that's a dragon down.
No, okay.
That's a 14 point. That's a 14-point turn. Isn't it? That's an intercept on a 2-on-1.
It is right on the line.
Yeah,
You're about to get blasted by a dragon.
Yeah.
And then, oh shit.
Yeah.
Very true.
And then he comes and blows down
It's
the
like
wall.
Joey Carberry signing for Munster and then
Yes.
winning the Champions Cup this year.
Yes. Yeah.
What else? Tell me more.
So they had that whole big meeting, and they're all sitting there, all the big characters. That was an expensive scene for
Yes.
HBO.
Absolutely.
They're all sitting there chatting away, waiting, and then in comes Daenerys. And she had to make a big song and dance about it, didn't she?
Yeah.
None of the rest. The rest of them just rocked up. How's things? All right. How's
Yeah.
pre-season? I'm thinking like, it's the first national camp. And Daenerys just comes swooping in
On a dragon.
on a dragon. Oh, it's just this one here. Like O'Connell would go, "Would you look at your man?"
On the fucking dragon. We're all arriving in our Toyotas. He rides on a dragon.
Yeah, did you see Darsh tweeted me there?
Yeah, he
Giving off.
appreciated that kind of. Didn't
Yeah, I think he was. Upset. Like it wasn't. First of all, Darsh, if you're watching, we weren't slagging the cardigan. If anything, you were ahead of your time.
he? Yeah.
Just O'Connell didn't appreciate it.
Yeah, but he was a bit pissed he didn't have his back at the time.
Yeah, and we told a story, I suppose, making fun of the situation.
Yeah. Sorry, Gordon Darcy.
Yeah. So what stage is it at then? With Game of Thrones, the wall's been knocked down. Yeah, that's it. So they've all come up with this agreement. Mm-hmm. They're all going to fight the White Walkers, but Cersei's not. She's up to no good.
So. Yeah.
So
I vaguely
short-sighted.
remember that. Yeah.
You're all going to die, Cersei.
Lannisters.
Honestly.
Typical. So it probably won't kick off until like 8 episodes in. Now we're not going to see anything of importance.
No, I know,
They're
you're right.
fanny about for the next
Exactly,
6 or 7 episodes, but we'll still be glued to it.
Yeah.
So we'll do mostly Game of Thrones stuff.
Having said
next
that,
week.
there was, I don't think it was last season, the season before, season 6. Remember the big battle and all? I remember
yeah,
the guy,
shitloads happened.
the guy who tortured Reek.
Yeah.
Remember him? He was killed off halfway through a season, and then I think there were like 2 or 3 episodes that season, and they were really tidying things up, and there were a few episodes for the fans.
Well, there's got to be a good few of them now where there's going to be loads of people killed off.
'Cause they've got a lot to work through.
Every episode's got to be like a Jaime Lannister episode, or a head crush, or a dragon, or a dick chopped off.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
You would have the dick chopped off.
I love
up there with the other highlights. Love dick removal episodes. The best.
Oh, we're definitely going to leave it there. Right, thank you everybody for your tweets and your comments and your questions, and for listening on all your favourite apps, and for watching us on YouTube. Big thank you to everyone that is involved, and a massive congratulations to whoever won the Masters. Pat is delighted.
Who's it looking like, Pat?
Go on, if you put your money somewhere.
Molinari. But Jesus, everybody could be laughing at me now in the future.
Oh, yeah.
You idiot!
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Tiger anyway.
Yeah, I'll go Tiger.
Yeah, cool, grand. Okay, lads, it's been great. It's been emotional. This has been Baz and Andrew's House of Rugby here on Joe, together with Guinness. Thanks for keeping us company. Party on, Trimble.
Party on, Baz.